Our GMC Sierra tweet of the night is some ugly sweaters here. Sports Center put this up. Michigan State head coach Tom Izzo and Oakland's head coach Greg Kampe are friends, and so they're wearing Grinch sweaters tonight. And they're kind of Grinch-like when they coach on the sidelines. Michigan State won that game by 19, I think the final was. Do you like ugly sweaters, Andrew? I have a few, but I have a green one like that as well. Not the same Grinch-like, but it's similar. Do you wear them?
Not really. I'm not really one for like that kind of attire this time of year. I'm more of a put me in swim trunks, give me a pina colada at like a Copacabana kind of thing if I had my druthers.
Barry Manilow's coming to town. You're going to the Copacabana. I can sense it. All right.
And now you're recording Christmas songs with Starkey about my co-host Chris Muller. Is that actually true?
Yes. I mean, I'm just there.
Is this a career low point for you?
It could be if you listen to it. Whenever it comes out, we'll see. 412-575-2600. Let's go to the phones. John in Cranberry is our #1 Cochrane Go One Better caller of the night. Hello, John. How are you?
Hey, Bob and Andrew. Happy holidays to both you and your families. I wanted to say that to both of you.
Thanks.
And I wanted to, Bob, you mentioned about Bo Pribula and the portal last night. I also wanted to talk about a development in the NIL. I don't know if you saw, but Mike Gundy, and he took a pay cut to have the revenue go to the players. Mike Norvell did that yesterday, $4.5 million from his salary to the players as well. And I saw that Brian Kelly is doing like $1 million match. So it's almost like a loser's tax for coaches is what I'm saying in the NIL. So I wanted to get your quick takes on that. And also, the football playoff, I want to hear who you and Andrew think is going to win it. I'm going to go with Georgia, but I want to get your thoughts on the winner of the playoff. Thanks for taking my call.
Yeah, thank you. Georgia's a good pick. From what I've seen, Oregon is one of those teams that, when they play the way they're capable of playing, I think they can make a run here. Pick a dark horse, Andrew. Who do you think of that field can really sneak up? Is Notre Dame capable of doing that? I don't know.
I was just going to say, if there was ever a year, it would be this one. They've not played a lot of good teams, but they've blown out most teams they've played. Right. The USC game was a little bit closer, but then they pulled away. Their defense has been exceptional. Ryan Clark's son, a big part of that defense as a nickel back for them, had a really good year. So I'm happy to see that. I'm a big fan of Ryan and everything he does. Ryan calling out Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers not really appreciative of it. I saw that on McAfee's show today. I'm not watching Enigma. I'm watching Hard Knocks. I'm not watching Enigma yet, Bob. I don't know about you.
Nah, Hard Knocks bores me. I expected more.
I did not think it was good tonight. I did not think it was very good. I thought it was a largely snooze fest episode, to be quite blunt.
Yeah, maybe it's getting to the point where it's run its course too. I don't know if they ever want to admit that. But it could be.
But you stole my thunder. I think Notre Dame can win it. I think they're kind of my snake in the grass team in this whole thing. I also would say this. I think Ohio State, obviously, the loss to Michigan was so deflating. Now that they're over it, I could see them being on a revenge tour here in the tournament. I think they'll beat Tennessee. Tennessee, I don't think, is a team that you can necessarily count on either. It is really wide open this year. I don't really think that there's one team that's head and shoulders better than everybody else, Bob, and a guarantee to win it.
No, I agree with that. I think it's very competitive. I'm anxious to see it. And our conversation about the transfer portal, they got to move the dates. They can't allow this to happen and impact a team in a playoff.
And the SMU coach was talking about that today. He said that his team's trying to get raided right now by other programs, stealing his players.
Well, I mean, that's the likely thing to happen. You're playing a playoff game, and all of a sudden there's money being thrown around. That's why it's a bad system the way it is, and they got to make some adjustments to it. Let's go to Frank in Moon Township. Hello, Frank. How are you?
Bob, how are you? I haven't talked to you for a while. And
Thank you.
I just have two things. One thing, why – I understand the NFL plays on Saturdays, but why would they schedule these two games on college playoff weekend, number one? And then, Tony, you left the Robert Morris game too early tonight. They come back and made a heck of a comeback, buddy. Okay, I'll talk to you guys later.
I saw that.
Well, good for them.
I saw that. I was there. I was supporting Andy Toole, who's one of my favorite people in town.
He is a great guy.
And Kevin Colbert was there as well, so he stuck it out and was able to see them pull off a big double-digit deficit comeback. Why are they doing it? This is actually a pretty interesting fact, Bob. I'm sure you know about this. There's actually federal law that says from like Labor Day through the Army-Navy game that the NFL can't play on Saturdays. And once they get past that date, they're allowed to do it. And you know how the NFL works. They're playing games on Christmas now.
They're going to go up against every league, including the NBA. College football doesn't matter, and they'll have better ratings, period.
And that's why ESPN, did you see what they did? They sub-licensed and sold the 2 Saturday afternoon games to TNT. So those games are going to air on TNT Saturday. The SMU Penn State game will be on TNT, but it will be with ESPN announcers, which I think is kind of odd.
Yeah, some of it, I wonder how they can do all this with different people moving to different networks when they have contracts with that specific network. But I guess they're figuring it out.
But I think ESPN figured they were going to get a bad rating, is I think why they did it.
Well, you're going to get the people who want to watch. Yeah, I mean, obviously you're going to get a bad rating. So will the NBA on Christmas Day. It used to be their domain. Now it's no longer. The NFL can do what it wants, and they'll take you on anytime. I really honestly didn't think Wednesday would be a day on Christmas Day and a Wednesday. I just thought they wouldn't do it, but then again, the money aspect of it is too
I mean, Bob,
alluring.
you see these things. SMU, Penn State versus Steelers, Ravens. Will the rating even be close between those two games? I'm going to say no.
Penn State will be over by then, though. That Ravens game.
No, but I'm just saying. No, I know, but I'm just saying overall, when you look at the two things, it won't even be close.
No, it won't be close. But the people who are interested will watch it, and they still get advertising money specific to those particular teams. That's where they try to, we'll see. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see the final numbers. I always love doing that. But the NFL will win. I don't think there's any question. Let's go out to David in Finleyville. What's up, David? How are you?
Merry Christmas to you and Andrew.
You too.
Thanks for taking my call.
Thanks.
I'd like to ask you both, how many wins or how far can Mike Tomlin go and get Coach of the Year honor? I'll hang up and listen to you.
Well, I think that's going to be hard, only because I really like Kevin O'Connell. I told Joe today when we were talking about this. To me, he's my guy. I guess because of expectations at the beginning of the season, I did not expect them when J.J. McCarthy went down to see Sam Darnold in this role and what they're doing with it. Yes, he has good, talented wide receivers, but it's still Sam Darnold who's been well-traveled now. Who would be your pick at this point, Pony?
I think you nailed it. I mean, this is their best start since they were 15-1 in '98 with Randy Moss, who, by the way, we hope Randy is able to beat this cancer battle that he's got going on right now. I would say Kevin O'Connell, Sean Payton. I put him second. I think Dan Quinn has got to be up there too.
What about
given the
Dan
fact that
Campbell?
they've got 9 wins. Dan Campbell as well. I mean, Dan Campbell, I would say they only have 2 losses. So I do think it's been a phenomenal coaching job by him. So Tomlin's got a lot of guys to leapfrog over. They basically have to win out to give him any chance of winning that award.
Right, because it's a regular season thing. If he does that at 13 wins and 4 losses, that's a pretty good season, considering they kind of changed completely their entire quarterback room. That's not easy to do. But I will say this: I think this game this Saturday is very important to them, and I realize you don't want to put guys out there who aren't ready to play. But if they somehow could win it, it gives them a lot of leeway with how they handle their roster. Jim in Ambridge. Hello, Jim. You're up next, talking to Andrew Fillipponi and me.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Good. What's up?
Hey, listen. First of all, both of you guys are Hall of Fame sports talk guys. But let's get back to the Steelers. Calvin Austin, if you know this, and you should, is one of the fastest guys in the league. Let him fly and get the holding calls that Joey Porter always gets. And if I was Lamar Jackson, I would throw the Porter side every time and get the holding call.
Well, they may do that, but Calvin Austin's a guy who I'd like to see him more in, over the middle kind of crossing routes and turn the speed on, the yak yards that he could produce. And going, whatever the case may be, they got to utilize guys a little bit more, and they got to come up with better schemes, Andrew. They got to figure out how to free guys open here if you don't have Pickens, because quite frankly, I said this to you last night, Freiermuth is under targeted. I would target him quite a bit. I'd figure out a way to get him involved, just like they do Kelsey in Kansas City. It doesn't have to be big plays, but just, possession plays that get you second and short, third and short, whatever the case may be.
Yeah, I mean, I would have said before these changes were made in Baltimore that there's a number of different ways to beat them through the air, but I honestly don't feel that way anymore. Calvin Austin, Mike Williams, I do think, given the fact that George Pickens is probably going to miss this game, I do think some quick strike scores are probably necessary. If they're going to generate points, I don't know how many long sustained drives they're going to have where they have double-digit plays, control the ball for 5 or 6 minutes, maybe longer, and score touchdowns and don't kick field goals.
Right.
So I think they're going to need at least one big quick strike score in this game. And Austin can generate that. I think Williams can too. Because, Bob, the thing about him is even when he's covered, he is still kind of open because of how big he is.
He's a big target, absolutely.
And we did not see Russell Wilson even throw the ball to him enough in that Philadelphia game where he was going to trust him to make that kind of play.
All right, Pony. So next time I see you, we're going to know the results of this, at least on this program. Pitt and Pitt and Penn State involved in the Final Four of volleyball. Pitt left today to go there to play Louisville. Penn State gets Nebraska. They beat them once earlier, but Nebraska's a very good team. Do you think we're talking about backyard, not brawl? I keep thinking of West Virginia because I'm watching their football game.
You're watching the Scooters Coffee Frisco Bowl, Bob?
I'm
Congratulations on all your success.
It's just, I don't know why. Anyway, what do you see there? Do you see Pitt and Penn State in the final?
No, I see Nebraska beating Penn State, and I see Pitt winning both Louisville and Nebraska matches in straight sets.
And Pitt wins the national championship. How about that?
That's correct.
Go. All right, Pony, thanks very much. Appreciate it. We'll see you later in the week. All right, that's going to do it for us. Thanks for joining us back here tomorrow at 10:35. Hope you have a good night.